Colorado, a land where you can take an epic photograph around every single turn. So is it possible there could be one image that defines them all? This is Journey Beyond Overland, the place where adventures begin. My name is Chris, and along with my husband Bill, Bill's kids Tristan and Taylor, and our dogs Rue and Rourke, today we're on an epic quest to find arguably the most photographed place in all of Colorado. It just looks like a whole bunch of people were camping here last night on a Monday night for no reason at all. I think it's a convenient camping spot.
It's raining up on the deck now.
It sure is. It's pouring over there. That's quite where we're headed, thankfully.
It's only going to end up where we are, is the problem.
Thanks for that thought. Having fun there, Bill?
Yep, gotta hold on to her. She got pressure.
11 gallons, 12 gallons. This is very high pressure. I better have my finger by the stop. 13, 14, 15, 16.
Okay. Stop.
I pressed stop.
You didn't do good enough.
So the answer is yes. It is a 16-gallon tank, just like your wife said.
Good job, little buddy. Because I would guess most people have no idea what their tank holds, you know.
You do have to have your own 3/4-inch fill hose, but this is, it's only $5.50 to fill it up to 1,000 gallons, so.
So it's a lot cheaper than buying at the gas station.
It is much cheaper than buying at gas stations. Our path today led us north out of Gunnison up to Crested Butte, and then west over Kebler Pass. It's about 30 miles of easy graded dirt road between Crested Butte and Paonia State Park via Kebler Pass. This road reaches heights of over 10,000 feet and has vast stands of beautiful aspen trees. It's also well known for its dispersed camping as well as primitive campgrounds near fishing lakes. The road is nestled between the high mountains of the Raggeds Wilderness on the north and the West Elk Wilderness on the south. Originally a Native American trail, settlers enlarged the trail into a road so they could transport their potatoes, sheep, and cows to railroad freight yards. You don't need a special 4x4 high-clearance vehicle to drive this road, so feel free to enjoy it seasonally when open in your sedan. Just make sure that you aren't so entranced by these beautiful mountains that you miss the furry obstacles that may line the road. Over 100 miles and several hours of drive time away from Hartman Rocks, we finally arrived at the tiny village of Marble, Colorado, population 133, and the starting point of today's trail. Hi, my name's Chris with Journey Beyond Overland, and today we are headed into one of the more iconic places to go and view in Colorado, headed towards Crystal Mill. So I hope you'll come join us on this moderate trail, including Lead King Basin and part of Schofield Pass.
How's it going?
Photographs of the Crystal Mill are so iconic and prolific that you might make the mistake of thinking that this is going to be an easy journey. But in all actuality, that 5-mile drive from Marble all the way out to the Crystal Mill is more of an adventure in itself than standing at the iconic mill. There's no official tally of the visitors to this area by foot, bike, horseback, or motor vehicle. But know that when you drive this road, the likelihood is you're not going to be alone.
Here's what happens if you don't pay attention.
The Crystal River Road is a narrow, steep, and rocky one-lane trail with two-way traffic. You should expect large rocks and steep drop-offs, along with spectacular views. If you take your time and use your head when you encounter oncoming traffic, any stock 4x4 high-clearance vehicle should be fine driving this road. Just make sure to keep your eyes out for hikers, mountain bikers, and rock climbers as you drive. The roads along the Crystal River, Lead King Basin, and over Schofield Pass, they're all here for the same reason as almost every other 4x4 road in Colorado. They're here because of the old mines. Miners discovered precious metals here as early as the 1860s, but the mountainous terrain made it so difficult to reach those resources that mining them didn't become profitable until almost 1880. By the early 1890s, there were over 500 people living in the mining camp of Crystal City, and there were at least a half a dozen mines producing silver, zinc, and lead. By 1893, that mining town boasted a post office, a newspaper, 2 general stores, several hotels, saloons, a pool hall, and an executive club for men known as the Crystal Club. The small local newspaper was known as the Crystal River Current, and it reported on international, national, and state events, as well as tidbits of local importance, such as when Mr. Williams got his violin and spent the next week boring everybody playing it. Ore from the local mines had to travel all the way to Carbondale or Crested Butte, no small feat, and the roads here were often impassable due to snow, even into the late spring. The difficulty of traveling in this area led to the decline of Crystal City, and by the 1890s, Crystal City had no more than 100 full-time residents. The way out to Crystal, you actually have two options leading out from Marble. One is along Lead King Basin, and one is on part of what's labeled as Schofield Pass, but it's not the really scary part of Schofield Pass along Devil's Punch Bowl. It is a moderate trail. I don't know what Lead King Basin looks like yet because we haven't been there, but this particular trail, the shorter trail that goes 4 miles to Crystal, is beautiful. Yes, there are some narrow portions. Yes, there are some portions where you've got sheer cliffs going up on your side. Yes, you may get pinstriping, but the cliffs and the trees and the creek, this is a beautiful trail. Crystal Mill isn't just some other dusty old ruin hidden away in the mountains. People don't hike here because it's an easy walk, and people don't drive here for the obstacles. Instead, people journey here for the picturesque scenery, the historical significance, and the multitude of outdoor recreational opportunities. They come to catch a glimpse of the 133-year-old wooden powerhouse perched atop a cliff next to a waterfall along the roaring Crystal River. They come to experience the adventure of trekking miles into the Colorado wilderness, to stand in person before a marvelous sight that most people will only ever glimpse in a photograph. And if you think about it, isn't that the difference between just existing and living life well? Ironically, Crystal Mill isn't a mill at all. Constructed in 1892, this building funneled water down a vertical penstock onto a horizontal wheel, which powered a massive air compressor. That compressor powered drills in the nearby Sheep Mountain and Bear Mountain mines. Those drills were used to bore holes in the mine walls so they could more easily place dynamite. The mill is on private property, and there used to be a trail down to the riverside where the owner would allow you to take photographs for a fee. Unfortunately, significant damage and vandalism from people who did things like carve their initials into the building or steal pieces of the building caused the owner to close and block that trail. The Crystal Mill may have been the reason that we chose to drive this trail, but just because you've stopped and enjoyed the mill doesn't mean your adventure's over. Because let's face it, any direction you go, you're still at least 5 miles into the wilderness. After you leave the mill behind, if you're headed east, you'll find about a 1/4 mile of good road leading you to the semi ghost town of Crystal City. All of the buildings in the town are private property, so make sure to be respectful as you travel through. There are still several residents who reside here, at least during the summers. The road leading to the east outside of Crystal City is deceptively smooth and easy, but don't let it fool you. Soon, you're going to have to decide between the difficult road of Schofield Pass and Devil's Punch Bowl or the moderate road of Lead King Basin. But if you want to know about Lead King Basin, you're just going to have to come back and join us next time, because this little glimpse isn't going to do that adventure any justice. Is that your dinner right there? Super duper. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and drop us a comment and tell us what iconic site you'd most like to go see. If you're not subscribed, why don't you consider joining us? Because if you don't come back, you'll miss out on important questions like this.
So the question of the day is, do you eat your mashed potatoes with a fork or with a spoon? Inquiring minds want to know. Bill, is it a fork or a spoon?
Fork.
Fork. Taylor, fork or spoon?
It's a spoon for me.
Why?
I'm a big bowl girl, so spoons are typically more
Big
conducive.
bowl girl. That sounds weird.
Why didn't you ask him why? I feel like you have a biased opinion.
Yeah.
Well, I am using a fork, so yes, I have a biased opinion. What do you use?
I'm using a spoon.
Why?
I'm just using what my wife gave me. I'm a normal human.
Because you're a normal human? You're eating your mashed potatoes with a spoon. And you are pleading the fifth because your wife gave you the fork, and so what would you normally use? Would you use a fork or
Probably
spoon?
would have got a fork.
Okay.
And while you ponder that question until we see you again, make sure to go out and find your own adventure.